So thank you all for joining us today for our session on which international internship industry fits my major. Okay, so this is a session we've designed just to kind of give a general overview of our different industries, what type of internships students have done in the past, where are they now, to hopefully give you guys some orientation as what you can do with your degree as well. Okay, so we'll be talking about why do an international internship, academic majors and industries, our alumni, and some examples. And again, we will have time for question and answer at the end. If you guys do have really specific questions about your situation, I strongly encourage you to apply to our program. It's completely free. I'll share the link and information at the end of the session because that's where we'll be doing a one-on-one session with you on your goals and what you're looking for. And we spend 25 to 30 minutes with any student that applies to our program. Okay, so just to introduce ourselves really quick before we get started, my name is Sabrina Stark. I am the University Partnership Manager for Absolute Internship. Absolute Internship was founded in 2009, so we've been going for over 11 years now, placing students in internships. I am originally from the US and I'm based in Barcelona, Spain. I did several internships during my undergraduate and also after I graduated. I studied Spanish and international studies, and I did an internship with a think tank. I did an internship with a foreign embassy, and then I did an internship for the education department for a foreign government as well. So that was all of my internships were kind of related to that. So I'll go ahead and let Victoria introduce herself, and then Daniel. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Sabrina was mentioning I'm Victoria, and I'm a placement manager at Absolute Internship. I come originally from Venezuela, and I remember I studied liberal arts. And I remember thinking that human rights was my passion, and I really wanted to follow a career in that. So for things of life, I ended up studying in Madrid, and I remember doing an internship in a fashion editorial because I thought as well I was passionate about fashion, and I said, why not? Well, it was a very fulfilling experience, and it led me to understand that fashion wasn't my thing. And little by little, I started changing the approach towards communications, and I also did an internship in a communications consultancy advisory, and I completely fell in love. And little by little, I was following that path, and I ended up working with international education as well. So the internships really helped me realize what I liked and what I didn't like, and overall, they were very fulfilling experiences too. Danny, now our colleague Danny is going to introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Daniel. Okay, I'm also a placement manager here at Absolute Internship. I'm from Seville in the south of Spain, and I'm also based here in Barcelona, same as Victoria and Sabrina. And I studied tourism management and hospitality at the University of Sevilla, where I'm originally from, but also half of my studies, I did them in Birmingham, in the United Kingdom. And actually, I did several internships within the hospitality and tourism industry, both in Spain and in the UK as well. And same as Victoria, I was following, that made me realize what I really liked or not. And I got the experience that I needed in order to focus myself within the international education, which is actually my passion and what I really like. And that's why I'm so happy to belong to the Absolute Internship team and to provide our students with an experience as good as the ones that we had when we were back students, And yeah, and that's basically that's me, and I'm so happy to be explaining to you guys a little bit of else of what we can offer.
Yes, great. Thank you guys so much. So just to give you guys an overview, if you're not too familiar with Absolute Internship, we have programs and host companies in London, Paris, Stockholm, Barcelona, Madrid, and Lisbon in Europe. And then in Asia, we're working in Shanghai, Hong Kong, Beijing, Singapore, and Tokyo. Okay. And just our internship programs and numbers, like I said, we've been going since 2009. We've worked with over 5,000 students. On average, our programs have over 53 nationalities. So it's super diverse. That's something that students rate really highly about our programs. We work with over 30 industries and over 800 companies worldwide. Okay. And I encourage you guys, if you're not familiar with Go Abroad, gooverseas.com, these are great websites where you can read about all different programs. You can read reviews about Absolute Internship from students. You can also find information about us on different news outlets. So we have lots of information as well on our website, but there's many external websites as well that you can read about our programs and our students' experiences in the programs.
Yeah, just a little bit more about why to intern abroad. We have selected here like 3 key points about what we think which is important to intern abroad. The first one is basically to have the practical hands-on experience. Obviously, we're still students, and maybe most of you guys don't have still as much experience as you would like. So even though this is a learning process because we're still students, this is also going to give you the experience that you need in order to do your first step forward, you know, into what is going to be your professional development and obviously your professional career. So we definitely are focusing in that, you know, as a main goal. Also to have international network. Connections are so important, you know, nowadays, and it's important for you guys to know people working in your industry, but also for the people in your industry to know yourself and what can you bring, what else new can you bring to the table of your industry. And also for you to know how work your industry somewhere else, not just in your country, but in the country that you're going to do your internship in, and basically to make connections that is going to help you in order to move forward and to develop yourself professionally as well, and then to get ahead in job applicants. According to our British Council studies, you know, some of the companies focus not just in the university degree, but also in an international experience that the student could have had. So that's why we think it's important not just to have the university degree, which obviously is important, but also to, on top of that, to add this international experience that not everybody have the chance to do, and definitely it's going to be like helpful in order to stand out from competition in this job market. And yeah, the available industries that we have, you can see them in the screen. You know, those are the most popular ones that we have been working, and we have companies within all of those industries, and we have been placing students for a long time within those industries that you can see in the screen. Maybe you see yours on the screen, maybe not, but we're constantly creating new opportunities into the industry that we haven't worked yet, and we're excited about it as well.
So hello everyone. Yeah, like my colleagues were explaining, we have over 30 different industries available for students. However, we have summarized them in these 6 categories, which we know that all of the industries that we have can be added here. So we're going to explain a little bit what type of activities you could be doing within these categories, and more or less what type of companies we're working with these type of majors. So moving forward with a business related internship, okay, we can see that in business we can have all these available areas, okay? So just to give a little bit each by each as to what you could be doing, for example, in accounting internship, okay? It's everything related to tax services, bookkeeping, advisory, consultancy, and also everything related to auditing, okay? So we have been working with firms that do consultancy to other companies under taxes, that help them with the bookkeeping as an outsourcing company, okay? So every type of accountancy firm or department within a company, okay, it's a potential host company for a student that wishes to conduct an internship in accounting, no? Following then with business development, the beauty of business development is that almost every company, not to say all, they require business development students that help them grow their business. No, so an internship in this area could be related to sales, to increasing international or national partnerships with other companies, to doing research, to creating business plans for expansion or growth of any company, also helping with some strategic planning. Okay, so it's everything related to what helps a company grow, no? So what helps a company keep on developing their core business activity, no? So basically the type of companies that we work with business development are all the companies that we work with. Okay, is depending on your major and also your interest. Okay, that you could be choosing an internship in this area. Okay, then we are following up with entrepreneurship, which is very related to business development. Okay, but it focuses a lot on companies that are startups. Okay, that are companies that are just being created, and within the startup ecosystem we work with tech related companies, with health related companies or startups. It can also be an internship within a hub. Okay, so working for many companies in one place. Okay, and tasks could be related as well as to business development. It can be related to business research, to marketing strategies, to helping them, for example, if they want to expand their startup and reach out to a new market. This research and this creation of the planning is something that you could be helping within a startup as an entrepreneur intern. Okay, following up with finance. Okay, finance is a very wide internship option as well. So it can be related to corporate finance. It can also be related to doing some finance research, to venture capital, to private equity. It can also go with a finance department at a big company or a company, because they also have to do financial statements and research and also keep everything aligned. Okay, so for this type of internships, okay, it can be, for example, a fintech internship. Okay, at a company. Okay, it can be financial consultancies, advisories, fintech related companies, or finance department at any company. No. um, then we also have green technology, which is very related to everything that's environmentally conscious, or for students that have worries about the environment, about eco-friendly systems and companies and developments for the world. Okay, but it's for business minded students. No, so from any type of eco-friendly company that focuses on sustainable business and activities, technologies, or marketing activities within the, for example, a consultancy that does marketing advisory for for eco-friendly companies. Okay, also within some companies you have departments that focus on eco-friendly and environmentally conscious projects. Okay, and these could also be suitable for a student that wishes to conduct an internship in green technology. No. Within business, we also have hospitality management. Okay, and this refers to working maybe with travel agencies, with tour operators, with corporate travel, with agencies, with hotels, where you could be doing, for example, you could be in charge of front desk, you could be helping clients from the hotel, or special clients with events within the hotel. It also works, for example, in Barcelona, that is such a touristic place. You could be doing as well some bike or Segway or boats rental as well, companies that does that. And we have worked in the past, for example, with cruise lines, with companies that do short rentals or long rentals for people that maybe wish to stay at a city for 3 months. Okay, and also everything related to tourism. Okay, with events, with planning sightseeing, with tourists that go into the city that the student would be interning at. Following up with logistics. Okay, which is also considered a business related internship. Okay, a student could be working in anything related to supply chain, to distribution, to operations, to couriers, service firms. Okay, in their growth or expansion. They can also with helping them with creating marketing plan, or for example business plan for their expansion. Okay, some research might as well be involved. And the type of companies that we work is, for example, retail. So retail does have a lot of logistics implied. Okay, so maybe you could be working for a fashion clothing that needs to deliver their clothes. So this would be logistic related. So everything with online retail, okay, and offline retail. They can also be implied some warehouse activity, for example, mail delivery systems, or a company that does eco-friendly delivery systems with bikes within the city, no, or storage companies as well. And then we have real estate. Okay, real estate internship of would be in a company that does real estate for short, for long term. Okay, it can be corporate real estate and it can be individual real estate. And the type of activities that an intern could be doing, it would be, for example, helping them with their business planning. Okay, also helping them with arranging visits to the places that the client wishes to visit. It could also helping them with their research, or the try or their reach out to clients, trying to expand their portfolio of clients, whether it is people that wishes to, for example, rent or buy a house, or people that wishes to sell or rent a house. No, so within the real estate environment, we work with traditional real estate offices. We also work with property development management, and we also work with online platforms that focuses on rentals or listings or sales of properties. Following up with the last business related internship that we have is the sports management. No, so following a path in sports management, it actually implies everything related to the promotion of a product or a service that implies any sports recreation or physical activity. No, so within this area, activities may imply planning, organizing, promoting, directing, fundraising, controlling budget, leading and evaluating these type of activities or this type of events. Okay, and we have worked with sports agencies, we have worked with sports venues, we have worked with events planning planners for example, marathons, or for example, some sports activities. Also some consultancies that helps athletes to build their portfolio or their personality for example, social media, or for the public eye. No, so what's important to keep into account is that if you wish to conduct a business related internship, okay, you should analyze if you enjoy numbers or an achieving set goals, also the problem solving mentality. Researching is very important, also negotiating, because you could, for example, be helping a company find new providers, and this would imply a lot of negotiating, and also influencing others, for example, for a sales role. Okay, now my colleague Dana is gonna explain the next
We'll
type
go
of
over
internship.
some.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
please.
thank you, Vicky, so much for that. That's such a great explanation. And business is such a wide area, and there's so much that you can do with business. Um, so here I just have a few examples of alumni from our program, and what they did. Again, recording later if you want to read more and go over it, but we're just going to give you some examples here of different students that have gone through our program. So you have Valeria. She was studying accounting. She did an accounting internship for a consultancy agency in Madrid, and now she's working as an analyst for enterprise products. Okay, and then we have Samantha, who was studying sciences and engineering, and she did an investment banking internship in Hong Kong. And now she's working as an investment banking analyst at Goldman Sachs in London. We have Ashley. She was studying logistics, materials, supply chain management, and she worked for an industrial automation and robotics company in Barcelona. So she wasn't doing anything with robotics, but she was doing the logistics of their products. Okay, so that's kind of what Vicky was talking about before, about doing logistics for all different types of companies. She's now working as a supply chain associate for Baker Hughes, which is one of the top 500 companies in the world. We have Jacob. He was finance major, and he actually did a marketing and advertising internship. So during his studies, when he was doing the internship program, he was actually studying marketing and advertising. And he did an internship in marketing and advertising, and then decided he wanted to go to finance. So this is a good example of how many of our students, they do internships that are related to their majors. And once they've done an internship, they're like, maybe I'm actually have passion somewhere else. So now he's working as an internal auditor at Cetera Financial Group. Okay. And then we have Navita, that she was studying business management, marketing, related support services. And I remember in her interview, she's like, I have a huge passion for human resources. Like, I really want to try human resources. But she wasn't studying like psychology or, things like that typically people study for human resources. So we were able to connect her with the human resources internship in London, that it was a recruiting company for all different types of clients. And now she's working as an HR CMO analyst at Morgan Stanley. So you can see how she combined her business studies, her HR passion, and now she's doing HR for a business finance company. And then we have Yik Yin, that she's a hospitality administration management major. So she interned for a cruise company in Hong Kong. So she worked with over 1,000 guests on a daily basis. It's a very intense internship. And she was working with the bookings, the transports, data entry, all sorts of tasks. And now she's in an internship program for the Walt Disney Company. So you can see how some students, they do the same industry internships later, and they do an even more exciting internship after their international one, or they change. So we'll see that throughout our presentation today. But these are just a few examples of students that did our program in a business type of related role. And then we have, two more. This was in real estate. These two students were doing real estate internships. So we have Eric, who was business and real estate and government. And he worked for one of China's largest destination providers for luxury residential real estate in Shanghai. So he was working on their marketing, their business development, and their mobility division. And now he's a disaster response and recovery consultant for Kohn Resnick. So this is a consultancy firm that provides services to state governments for disaster response. Okay. And then we have Audrey, who was doing entrepreneurship and innovation, and she really wanted to do real estate. So she did an internship for a real estate agency and a marketplace for housing in Singapore. And then she now works for a construction company back in the US as a development associate. So these are two students that did real estate internships and kind of went in different directions, but just to give you examples of this as well, that was related to business on the real estate side. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to go now into the communication related internships that we have, okay, which is also one of the most popular industries that we have had here at Absolute Internship. And here you can see 6 examples of communications related internships, such as advertising, marketing, and PR. Those 3 first one are kind of linked to each other, okay, especially advertising and marketing. If we focus now in advertising, basically it has to do so much with the branding of a company, and also to support so much the marketing team in order to do a little bit of emphasis in outbound marketing communication. Okay, that's why I was saying that it was related to marketing. Basically marketing, as you guys know, is to promote your product to be different from the others. Okay, and in this one industry you can learn everything behind the scenes related to social media, data analysis, SEO, and some other tasks related to marketing for you to develop in that one area. Okay, but also communication, which is related also with PR as well. Okay, and in PR, it also engages organizations, okay, in a positive, in order to provide a positive image of the company to someone else. Okay. The good thing about these three industries is that I will say every single company has an advertising, marketing, and PR department. You don't need to work in an advertising, marketing, or PR company because so many companies have these roles available. It doesn't matter if it's a finance companies or an accounting or an architecture. I'm sure that they have those three areas available, no matter which is activity, the main activity of the company. Okay. Also, we have journalism, which the main tasks of this one industry are writing, interviewing, podcasting, and also even recording. Okay, material for radio stations and also even for TV stations as well that we have been working at, for newspaper, obviously online and print as well. So this is definitely also an industry that we have been working lately in the past. And then we have event planning. In event planning, basically, the main activity of this one industry is to help the team to make sure that the event is successful by being preparing everything, since being in touch with vendors, providers, making sure the venue is in good conditions. And as I said before, in this one industry as well, being a little bit behind the scenes about what the customer is going to find. Okay, when the customer is finding the final results, you have been doing what people cannot see for them to be like happy with the results. Let's say. Okay, there's so many event planning companies. Okay, and this is a little bit more specific in case there's a congress, a wedding, you know, a company dinner or something like that. So many people contact those agencies in order to prepare the venue and for everything to be successful. Okay, and then we have publishing as well. In the publishing industry, basically is to deliver information. Okay, it can be in several ways, in making information in literature, music, and some other contents available that companies have. Okay, the traditional way have been through books and newspaper, but obviously nowadays people do that pretty much online. Okay, and there's so many editorials companies. Okay, and also newspapers that need interns in order to deliver communication and to deliver the products. It could be also like educational related magazines and those kind of things in which publishing and delivering content is crucial. Okay, and then if you like those areas, you keep in mind the following key points. Okay, that we have here, like such as being creative. Okay, you're gonna have to play with your imagination and with your creativeness in order to deliver a good results. So much researching, especially in marketing, as well in social media, which is such a huge thing nowadays. So many people find so many things through social media, and this is important to have a good knowledge of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the social platforms that pretty much everyone use. Writing skills is important to have really good writing skills, especially in journalism and publishing. Okay. Speaking with others. Okay. This is also a really good thing, especially for the podcast of journalism. Changing priorities as well as multitasking, which is an important thing for those industries as well. Influencing others and being organized, which is kind of linked as well to multitasking.
Thank you, Danny. Yes, and that's a great point. All of these characteristics you mentioned, many of our companies, when they have students in one of these areas, they're really expecting them to bring something to the table when they come to their internship. So, you know, like, what are you thinking for my social media? What would you do? How would you say it? How would you, sell this product in your home country? So students really get to influence how companies are doing their work. And just to give you guys some alumni examples here, we have Elaine that she was doing marketing and communications, and she interned for an online fashion store and urban luxe label in Hong Kong. So you can see all her different tasks here. Now she works as a product brand manager at L'Oreal, very famous. We have Tara, that she was a business administration major, and she did a marketing internship as well, for an educational apps, that's based in London, and they work with Google Classroom, Clever, and Modo. So she was doing different business development for them, marketing, experiments, and now she is the account owner for Nespresso, for EVS Professional Canada. So like she's representing Nespresso. I don't know if she's gotten to meet George Clooney yet, but she represents Nespresso in Canada, for them, which is so cool. Then we have Grace. She was an English major, and she interned for an English language listing and entertainment magazine in Shanghai. So we have many of these types of internships in our different locations where students are writing about the city they're in, they're interviewing people, they're doing features on things in the city, for English speaking, online magazines and print. Now she's working as a public policy intern, for Coalition on Human Needs, in Washington, D.C. So you can see kind of different paths people take. We also had Jennifer. She was studying French and Spanish. Okay, so students who are studying languages often are not sure what type of internship they can do, or how they can apply it. So she was doing actually an event planning internship. So it was like event planning / marketing, combined role for a football app. And this app allows over 6,000 players to sign up for daily pickup games across Europe, and it's based out of Barcelona, Spain. So she was organizing events, doing research development, and now she's working as a consultant for H.W. Anderson, which is a huge real estate company. So you can see kind of how people apply their skills in different areas. Then we have Marley, who she's a public relations major, and she was working for an event management and design marketing company, in Singapore. And now she's working as a production coordinator, for Jack Morton Worldwide, which they have offices around the world. And then we have Declan, that I really enjoyed. I interviewed him actually for our program, a few years ago, and he's studying archaeology and anthropology. And he was like, I don't know what I can do with my major. I want to get work experience, I'm open to anything. And so he interned for an information and technology service company, and that was in Hong Kong, and this company works with over 80 countries. And so he was doing social media, he was writing contents, he was doing things that were not necessarily related to his major, but were using skills that he had learned in university. And he now works as an email and data coordinator for the Chelsea Magazine company in the UK. And I know he said to us that after he did his internship and updated his LinkedIn, as we work on in our program, he was getting recruited for jobs. And that would have never happened if he hadn't done an internship and was just, with his degree. So it's a really cool story for us of things that happened for Declan after he did his internship.
And now, following our internships industries, I'm gonna speak about social responsibility related internship. Okay, the common factor within these three type of internships, okay, is the type of activity that at the end is helping towards a community or someone else. No, so that's where we have summarized them in social responsibility. So we're gonna speak about first is nonprofit. Okay, so the goal with a nonprofit internship is helping the organization in any way possible for them to reach their goal to help the community they're focusing on. Okay, so we work with nonprofits that focus in refugees, that focus on children, that focus on human rights, that maybe focus on doing charities for elderly people, for people that are in disadvantage, socially disadvantaged. Also, that provides some health care with people in need, religious nonprofits as well, animal protection, prevention of cruelty for women as well, and some education implied. No, so I was explaining before, the goal with a nonprofit internship is about doing anything that the organization may need to accomplish this goal. Okay, and within that there could be some policy development implied, program development as well, helping them in the operation, maybe to organize their fundraisings, also from doing marketing, or maybe, for example, creating awareness campaigns, let's say for foster care, okay? It can also be helping them planning their education programs to children or to the community that they're helping, and also arranging some small or big fundraising events, and also helping them with their public relations and communication task. No, so as you may see, it's a very wide internship opportunity where you can practice many skills. The common goal at the end is helping them achieve their goal to helping the community. No, then we're gonna move forward with education. Okay, so an internship in education can be, for example, helping a company that does education or English lessons for other corporations or for other companies. It can be as well a nonprofit that focuses on education. Okay, so this could be as well implied. um, it could also be, for example, companies that provide online classes for other companies in management, in organizing, or even HR activities. Okay. And what you could be doing within an internship in education, as well as providing these courses for other people, or teaching English to children, for example, it could be helping the company that you're interning at to prepare the contents of the classes that they give. No, and then we move with the last one in social responsibility, which would be a legal related internship. Okay. So legal related internships are for people that are studying law. Okay. And the majority of our students would get placed in law firms or that focuses in different areas. So it could be commercial, it could be property law, it could be tax law. Okay. So the possibilities are endless. Okay. Within the legal area. Okay. And it could be a specific legal firm, or it could be at a department, at the legal department of another company. Okay. So it's a very wide option within the legal firm. And the tasks that you could be doing, okay, as a legal student, you could be doing research, for example. Okay. You could be doing compliance reviews, you could be scheduling meetings with lawyers and clients, you could be assisting a specific lawyer in preparing their case, in preparing the documentation for a client. You can be preparing a variety of legal documents or presentations, and even at some point also as well going into meetings to with the lawyer that you would be assisting to understand how this would be conducted. No, following the same structure that we have, like the key points you would need to have if you want to enjoy an an internship in this area. Okay, it will be being interested in social justice causes. Okay, in helping others, in diversity, in human rights, in politics, in fundraising, and in teaching as well. So now Sabrina is going to explain some alumni cases.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so here we have two students that they did legal internships. So Samuel, he was actually an electrical and electronics engineering major, okay? And when he interviewed for our program, he said, I really want to work in patent law with electrical and electronics, but I don't have any background in law, and this is what I want to start learning. So we were actually able to place him with a law firm that specialized in entrepreneurial businesses in London, and he was working with their documents, social media, etc. And now he's actually working as a registered patent agent for a law firm. So that's really cool. He was very focused on what he wanted. Then we have Tola, that she was a law major, and she interned for a law firm that had so many different areas. They do equity investment, real estate, construction, engineering, like all types of laws, as Victoria was saying, is endless, in Shanghai. And she now works, she's the assistant vice president for global AFC change. She took her law degree and then her interest in business, but she did a legal internship in China. Fulbright for Taiwan. So that's a very prestigious scholarship program that he was accepted to afterwards. And then we have Sam, who is a strategic communications and media nonprofit that's dedicated to relieving human suffering, protecting lives, dignity, emergency responses in Singapore. So he was working for them, and now he's working as a press and digital assistant for a congressional campaign. So you can see there different paths people were taking. We also have Ashley, that she was studying education foundations, and she interned for a social enterprise that helps children with special needs in China. And she didn't have really any prior experience with China before that. So it was a very intense experience for her and opened her eyes in so many ways. And now she's working as a development intern for Holt International Children's Services. Okay, so she's doing another internship with another organization, but also related to children. Abigail, she was philosophy, politics, and economics major, and she interned for a public affairs and corporate reputation management consultancy firm in Barcelona. So this was actually like helping other companies with their image. And now she's working as a programs associate for the Foundation for Economic Education. Okay, so these are just some different examples of students that have done these industries.
Yeah, if we go ahead now we're gonna change the industries field, and we're gonna move to the creative related internships. Okay, those are some of the most specific industries that we have had lately. Okay, and here you can see some examples following the same structure. Okay, we have had architecture, gaming, art gallery, industrial design, graphic design, and video production. Okay, if we analyze them one by one. We have architecture, okay, in which the intern maybe drafting like 3D modeling to the business side, okay, such as preparing sketch, okay, and also presentation for the company. In some of the cases, also the intern is required to get maybe into the regulations of that one city or place in which the intern is, in order to see if a project is feasible or not. Okay, so those are kind of the tasks that an architecture intern will be taken care of. Okay, then we have art gallery, okay, in which is so operational. Okay, the tasks that the intern will be there, like reception, opening, and work on a specific project. Okay, like based on individual interests, basically. Okay, they have to have like soft skills, you know, in order to be talking to people as well. Okay, and the tasks may include like meetings, greetings, or assisting artists. Okay, but also contacting them in case there's an event or an event or a convention of artists going on as well. Okay, then we have graphic design. Okay, this is also a popular one because of not just a specific company within graphic design, but so many companies, again, no matter which is activity, they need graphic design skills. Okay, in order to improve their website, and also include technical tasks, okay, such as the creating of copy files, written reports, mailing, printing, stuff like material. Okay, also work in the branding of the company, and also like the creation of existing but also new projects relating to the website of the company as well. Okay, for instance. Okay. Then we have video production. Okay, video production is working basically during the video, but also post the video. Okay, it has production, but then also activities post production in which the edition is made. Also, when you're during the production phase, also to set up the equipment and everything for the video for the final result to be good. Okay. And then industrial design, okay, in which the intern will be helping in developing the concept for manufactured products, okay, such as everyday products, for example, cars, also appliances and toys as well for the kids, okay. And this is an industry in which is a combination between art, business, and also engineering as well, to make the product. I mean, to make basically the product that people use every day, okay. And you may like one of the industries if you enjoy these skills below, okay, such as art, being creative, which is, I will say, the most common thing that all of those industries will have in there, okay. Imaginative as well, imaginative, especially for the video production. I have some friends working in that one industry, and they have really good ideas, that not everybody have, So if you feel like you have that one skills, definitely is going to be appreciated by a video production company. Okay, designing as well, same as editing. Attention to detail, super important. Okay, in these kind of specific industries in which attention to detail is really important, but also software and visualizing as well.
Great, thank you. And some of our alumni that have done these types of internships, we have Bella that she was studying advertising and she did a graphic design internship for a creative web and branding agency in Hong Kong. So when students intern for agencies, they usually work for several different companies. So they get put on different accounts and design different things depending on what they need from them. And she's now working as an illustrator at Flux Magazine. We have Genevieve that she's a strategic communication, dance arts, and administration major. So very busy student. She had 3 different focuses. And she interned for a company that branded retail design, store design, consulting, project management services with high-end brands wanting to enter, expand, or redefine their Chinese presence in Beijing. And she's now working as a corporate fund assistant at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. So she was able to move in that direction. We have Marielle that she's a communications and digital media major. She interned for a creative agency in Hong Kong as well, and now she's working as a designer at Didi. We have Elsa. She was a product design major. Okay, so you can design many different types of products. And she interned at a board game developer, publisher, and consultant agency in Stockholm. So she was actually like designing game pieces for games. Okay, and now she hasn't finished her degree yet. We haven't had that many students in industrial design. This is really a niche industry that we're expanding. But this is an example of one of our students. We've also had students work at designing jewelry, at designing machines like hardware. There's all sorts of opportunities. But here you have an example of one from Elsa.
Getting to our 6th category of internships, okay, we have the STEM related internships. So this is everything related to science, technology, engineering, and maths. No, so you may see here that we have gaming and green technology, which we already explained before. Danny has just explained it as well in creative, and I explained as well in business. No, so as you can see here, these are industries that follow both the 3 types of categories, okay? And it's because of the types of activities that you could be doing, okay? So I will focus in the other 4 that we have, since we already explained these 2. And I will start with data analytics, no? So with data analytics is everything related to analyzing data, okay? Either to solve a problem, for example, for a consultancy firm that has clients that need them to analyze all the information they have in order to solve a problem or to improve their activity and the results and their practices. No, so it's everything related as well to identifying patterns and trends in data. Okay, and this is very good for students that they have had to use Python, for example, or any type of data analysis and visualization packages as well. And the type of companies that we have worked with these internships, okay, mainly are consultancies that build database solutions for other businesses, no, so that help other businesses improve their business, no. Then we have engineering, okay. Of course, the type of activities that you could be doing within engineering, it depends as well on what's your focus on engineering, no. So if you're doing chemical engineering, then you could be working for a chemicals related company. If you're doing mechanical as well, then you might be doing some designs with CAD or MATLAB. It's an industry or is a type of internship as well that can be can imply some research involved, okay? As to, for example, is an engineering, a mechanical engineering company that also wishes to expand their business, okay? And alongside doing some design or helping other or shadowing other engineers, okay, you could also be helping them with this part, no? And the type of companies that we have worked are chemical based companies that are also related maybe to pharmaceuticals because they produce chemicals for the pharmaceutical industry. We have consultancies, for example, in engineering for mechanical projects, for civil engineering projects as well. They can work either with government or they can work with private entities as well, no? Following up with IT or computer science, okay, this is an internship that is very related to coding, no? So it can be maybe helping an app developer to create their apps, to you can do some backend, to some front ends as well. You could be checking that their apps are free of bugs, okay? So you could be, for example, like the police after they have completed an app or a game before it's given to their clients, for example. They could ask you, you know, like be that person that finds the error, okay? Because since you would already know how this works, okay, it would be potentially something that you could be helping them as well very much with. Also identify digital trends, bring as well your ideas and outside there, like Sabrina was explaining. Well, this is something that apps, for example, focus companies that really appreciate from our students. Like you want to have more ideas as well, no? Be influencers of what they do as well. And also do some research, okay, as to, for example, how to sell their app to a partner, no, or to a potential client. The type of companies that we have worked, it could be app developers, IT departments as well of other corporations, IT consultants, tech related companies. And within tech, we have insurtech, we have fintech, we have health tech as well. We have sports technology or wearables for athletes. For example, we had a company that they did wearable tools for athletes in order for them to measure their glucose level, okay? So these are the type of internships that you could be doing within this area. And the last one would be pharmaceutical or healthcare, okay? This is as well an industry that it's mainly research based, okay? So we work with many pharmaceuticals, like Sabrina was explaining. We had interns with Pfizer as well. We had other companies related to healthcare or pharmaceuticals that do maybe new products for people to measure their glucose levels, okay? Startups that focus on healthcare and pharmaceutical services, okay? And the activities could be very well related to helping them with their business development, with sales, for example, if they need to sell a specific medicine or wearable or something to a hospital or to, for example, another company, okay? Its research is also very well implied in a pharmaceutical internship, okay? And also marketing can be something that you help them with everything related as well to sales. So in order to follow a STEM related internship, it is important that you enjoy analyzing data and numbers, that you have a problem solving mindset as well, that you think of innovative ways to do things, that you're a critical thinker, that you have attention to detail as well, that you like software coding, and that you also have visualization of how things could be, for example.
Very good. Thank you, Victoria. So here we have some examples of interns. We've had many interns, so I can mention other people as well. I know we have a lot of tech here today, but we have Luis, who is in automotive engineering. So like Victoria said, we have all types of engineers that come through our program, chemical, civil, construction, automotive. We even have people that are aeronautic engineers that come. But anyway, he was interning for an engineering company that develops robotics and 3D mapping solutions in Stockholm. And he was actually working on drones that they were doing. And he now works at Volkswagen as an engineer in Mexico. So he was able to use, the skills that he got from that engineering position for other engineering positions. Engineering has a really great experience with our different companies. Then we have Yufan, that he was studying investment science, computing, and applied mathematics, so several different areas. And he interned for a venture capital and private equity in London. So it was finance, but it was also like IT, computer science related. And now he's working as a research engineer for IBM. In New York. Okay. And then we have some pharmaceutical students. We've had quite a few. Mary, she was studying pharmacy and chemistry, and she interned for a leading research-based biopharmaceutical company in Singapore. So you can see here that she was working on QC test methods, on error, compiling data. So all different types of work there for the company. And now she's a visiting scientist fellow for Eli Lilly and Company, which is a very large pharmaceutical company. Then we have Sarah, that she was studying neuroscience, and she interned for an information services company that specializes in market intelligence solutions for pharmaceutical and device companies, okay, in Shanghai. So like Victoria was explaining about pharmaceutical, it's hard to give like one definition because there's so many different types of companies and opportunities. And she's working now as a medical assistant for a neurology practice, okay? And then we have Yoon, that he was a computer science major. So he interned for an IT company specialized in anti-counterfeiting technology and system immigration. In Hong Kong, and he worked on developing a track and trace system to prevent counterfeits using QR codes and NFC tags authentication. Implemented product page views. He was also working with PHP framework, CSV codes, host URL association for clients' products. He was also working with all different types of software. And now he's working as a software engineer for DraftKings Inc. Okay, so like some of the positions are very, very technical, and companies evaluate, where you are in your skills when they interview you, and your internship is related to your skill level. Okay, so we always explain that to students. Then we have Carlos. He was studying biotechnology engineering, and he worked for a pharmaceutical company that works on developing medicines. So he reviewed and analyzed more than 200 clinical trials and databases. So he was doing a lot of research. He was getting information together on what they needed in terms to get approved by the FDA, by the EMA, which is based in Europe, clinical guidelines for safety and effectiveness. So he was doing tons of research for the company. And now he's working in avian vaccine coordinator for a very large agricultural company in Mexico. So now he's working with vaccines, which is very important. We also have other students that have done these types of internships that they're working, on COVID now in labs. We also have students that they did IT analyst internships, and now they're working for Amazon as IT analysts. So we have so many different examples. We don't have time to share them all today, but that students did related to IT, engineering, all the STEMs. So thank you.
Yeah, and last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit now about the fashion-related internships, okay, which is the last group that we're going to explain you today, guys, okay? And here we have several examples of what a fashion-related internship is like. Some of them, as you can see here, maybe you remember from the previous group that we have talked about before, okay? We have already talked about advertisement, about business development as well, about marketing, which is also there, and about event planning as well. Okay, as you see, those industries can be more than one group of the internship that we can offer. Okay, so if we move into the ones that we haven't talked about yet, okay, we can find here e-commerce. Okay, which is everything is online within the e-commerce. Okay, and the fashion brands use this way of selling their products, so often. So within these kind of activities, okay, basically the interns have electronically, basically they buy or sell products of a specific of a specific clothing company. Okay, those are the kind of activities within the e-commerce that a fashion related internship can offer. Okay, then if we go to merchandising as well, which is another one that we haven't talked about yet. Okay, basically the intern here will be like selling products to retail customers. Okay, they are also called retailers, right? And they buy it from a price, but they make up the profit by selling it like in a higher price, basically. So the process involved in that one activity are the one in which the intern will be taken care of with the rest of the team working in the merchandising area. Yeah. Also, we have logistic and production. Okay, logistic and production could be anything from shipping the product from a company, also the movement from a place to another one from the of the products of that one company. Okay, and doing like a follow up of the process of the supply chain as well. Okay. Yeah, and then PR right here that we have already talked about it, which has something to do with the communication. Sorry guys about that. And yeah, we have already talked about PR once again. So many companies, no matter which is activity, need these kind of activities in order to do several tasks within that one company. Okay, and then the skills that you may have in order to do an internship within a fashion related internship, which normally would be like in a clothing brands companies. Okay, will be creativity, art, visualization as well, same as the ones that we have talked before. Okay, within the creative ones, attention to detail. Okay, fast-paced environment, thinking outside the box, super important. Okay, and to be proactive as well. This is not just here in the fashion related internship, but also in more than other groups that we have talked about, because companies also need interns to be proactive and to bring something new to the table as well. And then have a huge knowledge of social media and to understand the events process as well from the beginning to the end.
Great, thank you, Daniel. Yeah, fashion is so broad as well, like many of our other industries. Like he was saying, it could be for clothing, it could be jewelry, it could be shoes, it could be designer handbags, it could be sunglasses, it could be bags, it could, all sorts of products for fashion. So very good. And to give you guys some examples of students that did fashion internships through us, we have Jacqueline, that she was studying business administration with a concentration in finance. Okay, and you'd be like, why did she do fashion? So she was really passionate about trying out fashion and marketing, and so she did an internship for a fashion branding agency in Madrid. And then now she works as an account manager in higher education for Google. So you can see that people do all sorts of internships, are discovering their passions, learning different skills and applying it in different ways, and not necessarily maybe with what they've studied or what they interned in. We have Emily, that she's an advertising major, and she interned for a sustainable unisex norm critical lifestyle brand in Stockholm. So she was working on their cosmetics that they had, and she was working with influencers. Like I remember she's working with different famous people throughout Sweden that were promoting their products. She was doing interviews, like writing articles, and now she's an art director at Parachute Media. Okay. And then we have Ruben, that he's a product design and Chinese major. Okay. And he interned for a French Japanese electronic music record and fashion label in Hong Kong. So it's a really cool internship that he did. He was working with models, photo shoots, press events, handling sales for Hong Kong and Chinese markets. So he's doing all sorts of work for them. And now he's an intern at Carlos Nazario's studio. Carlos Nazario, he's based out of New York, and his work is published in Vanity Fair. He does stuff for Burberry, so like very cool internship that he's in now. We have Garrett, that he was a fashion merchandising major. So as Daniel was talking about before, merchandising, and he interned for a global lifestyle communication agency in Madrid, and now he's working as an account coordinator at Nike Communications. So it's a luxury communications agency as well. So they're using their skills. And then we have this quiz that I'm going to put the link in the chat for you guys about what host city matches your personality. So this is something that we've created for students just for fun to see what your ideal host city would be like, because all of them are very different. So if you're doing an internship in Madrid, it's going to be very different than Hong Kong. Okay. So like Madrid is all about, work-life balance. They take long lunches. They start later than other countries. Hong Kong is very well known, for working hard, working extra hours, Singapore as well. So all of our cities have unique cultures, and that you will learn from them and absorb as well in your internship. So we have this quiz to see which one fits, your personality the best. I took it and it worked very well for me. So I'm curious about your results. I'm going to share that link just a minute in the chat. But that's what we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We were hoping this would be just a general overview of all the different industries, what type of internships you could do, what have students done in the past, and we would like to open it up for your questions as well. Here you have our general email address. You have can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We have lots of videos, lots of testimonials. We're very active in all the different platforms to really get our students' experiences out there, as well as our host companies, so you guys can have a good idea of what we're about and what we do. So I'm going to go ahead and share that link with you guys if you're interested in which one of our cities actually fits well with your personality. We have all of the industries available in all of the cities. So just to share that, and also put some links in the chat for you guys that you can check out, and then we'll open it up for questions that you have. So feel free to write it in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question, we're more than happy to do so. Here's the quiz in the chat if you guys want to take it. We also have the link I will put to our website where you can find all information and more than what we've talked about today. So thank you so much, guys, for your time. Please feel free, if you have questions, to send them out now. If you guys have really detailed questions, I really encourage you to apply to our program, because then we can go over your resume. Like, again, I say we take about 25-30 minutes to go over your resume, your goals, what you're looking for, what questions you have. So we're happy to help you. Okay, good question. So internships right now are online. Yes, except for students that are able to intern in person in the location that they're in. So we do have very few cases right now because of travel bans of where students are actually able to intern in person. So for example, let's say an international student that is originally from Hong Kong, is from Singapore, from Japan, and they're back home, and they want to do an internship and they study abroad, but they're back in their home country, they are able to intern in person if the company is there and is able to have them. We've had some students do in-person internships despite COVID, but the majority of our internships right now are remote internships. Another question, how important is it to be able to speak the language of the city you will be doing an internship? For example, in Spain, do I need to be able to speak Spanish? Victoria, would you like to answer this one?
Yeah, of course. Well, all our internships are in English, okay? So we have a lot of conversations with our host companies because we want to make sure that our interns, our students can be able to work in English. So it is not mandatory to speak the local language, okay? It is true that in some countries, or for example, some people at the company that you will be interning at may not speak, for example, like the perfect English, okay? But everything that's related to your internship, the task, your supervisor, the people that you're going to be in contact with, okay, we want to make sure that the communication is able, so this would be in English, okay? If you, for example, know the local language, okay, maybe a company can also give you a task in their native tongue, but this it would be like an extra. It wouldn't be like the normal. So the rule would be English.
Good. And then do you assist students with post-internship job hunting? So yes, I would say yes, in that we have a lot of career development that we do with students. We help you prepare, you know, your LinkedIn, your resume, how to apply for jobs, you know, tips and all of that. We have help as well for students for about 6 months after they finish their internship on getting employed. So we do have a lot of things in place as well, in addition to our alumni network. So yes, we do help students after their internship. Many students are quite successful after their internship and getting jobs. So we do help students in that. And then someone asked, can we try for specific fields not mentioned today? Yes. If you have a unique field or interest or major, please feel free to apply. Applying to our program is free. Interviewing is free. And we can see if there's any way that we would be able to assist you. We do have like niche internships and different companies that approach us looking for interns. So please, yeah, feel free to apply and we can further guide you on that. Okay, good. Another question. Are the internships paid internships? So in general, the internships are unpaid because they are international. What that means is that for a company, in order to pay you, you have to have like the social security number, you know, the working rights for that company for them to register you as like a paid employee. So all of our interns, they normally do it as part of their academic studies, and they get academic credit as well for their internship. Many students aren't able to get paid for their internship because they're getting academic credit. So the companies really see this as a learning experience, and that they're going to be teaching you much more than you're probably going to be creating or producing for them like a normal employee would. And yes, students do cover their own costs in the host company. In our program, the on-site program, we do include housing, on-site transportation, trips, activities, networking events, company visits, on-site support. So we cover a lot of things in our on-site program. Students usually just have to cover their spending money. Okay, how exactly would a remote internship work in the sense of doing the work for the company and learning about the company?
If you want, I can jump
Sure.
in this one. Of course. Yeah, this is something that is very important for us as well. So the remote internships work by arranging on a schedule between the company and the intern, okay, so that they can have continued communication, okay. So we encourage that both companies and students be able to be on top of their task and what their internships are, okay. It is true that with remote internships, okay, the task can be and students can need to be as well very well good with their time management, okay, which is one of the skills you can develop while doing a remote internship, okay. And we ask as well that you have meetings, okay. So in these meetings, you, for example, could meet the rest of the team of the company, okay. So you could have like team meetings with the rest of the company, or for example, in the specific department that you could be working. So if it's a company that does or has many departments and you're doing a marketing internship, okay, you could be meeting with the marketing team, okay. So we put in contact the students with the company a little bit before they start their internships as well, so that information that the company as well considers that it's important for the student to know before they start working and doing their internship, okay, this is also something that can be communicated and sent via email. And from the placement team, once we have an internship for you and we have an internship offer, okay, we also encourage you to check their website, to read about the company, to if they have materials that we can provide you with so that you can get to understand them, okay, and to get to know them. This is something that we would as well share with you.
Okay, and just to answer one more question today, as we ran over time. Thank you guys again for being here. Language courses in the internship country, yes. You can do language courses if you're doing our remote program. Those are included in the program, so you don't have to pay anything for that. So that's definitely an advantage to the remote program. And also on the on-site, we can arrange language classes. So great question. Well, thank you guys so much again for being here today. Again, if you have general questions, please feel free to reach out at the info@absoluteinternship.com. And we'll be sending a recording of this to everyone that signed up. So if you want to go back and review information, pause, read about all the different students we've had, please feel free. And again, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure having you all with us, and hopefully this was helpful in guiding you of what type of internships are out there. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys. It was nice to talk to you today.
Thank you. Well, have a good day.